I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Moxie Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Which club is the first to win Champions League?
That's very easy. Real Madrid. The first Champions League was won by Real Madrid during the 1955 and 1956 season.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sport entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Oh, what a feeling. Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, oh, we all together singing. Look how far we come.
Music edition of the show, Sports Up Show here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, 9th day in the month of July, year 2025. And I tell you what, this is the second installment of the show for today. Don't forget that we're earlier this morning on Sports in a Jiffy, your early morning sports tonic. And major props to Adeni Falano for serving you that particular one. 70 to him, beat and in pieces. And we are right here this evening to take you through the nitty-gritty of all of the major stories that are currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. And I tell you, big stories coming through this evening on the show. I'll be right here to preach the gospel sport to you for the next 43 minutes. 7 all of the in-swingers, all of the lancer passes, the slams, and the dunks as well. In case you're tuning in for the very first time, welcome aboard this amazing ride in the world of sport. We serve this package on Mondays and Wednesdays 6 to 7 p.m. On Fridays 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays 2 to 3 p.m. 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and interview. Why Sports in a Jiffy, your early morning sport tonic, is from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10 every weekday. Right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, the station that promises and always delivers. Sports Up Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Major stories on the menu for this evening. We'll talk about Demola Lookman, which is now very clear of where he's going to be heading before the start of the new season. For a couple of teams, the players are already resuming back to camp, and you can feel the life right there in the camp of some major teams. You're also hearing that there's going to be a bit of reshuffling for some matches in the English Premier League, and most of it is going to be affecting the likes of Manchester United and possibly Fulham as well. Also talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League, where Ahmed Musa has now come out to debunk the news that has been making the rounds. Talk about him gifting the players of Kano Pillars each a Toyota Land Cruiser. I mean, I saw that post, I'd be like, Land Cruiser, wow. That's way too much. Even if it's some form of, little Lexus, maybe some ES350, I can still be said, but man, well, it's come out to say, no, there's nothing like that. I'm just made the general manager of the team already, but after being the general manager, he's also still going to be leading the attack, more like a player manager situation right there at Canopy. I was also talk about Victor Osimhen, who is still very much open to move back to Galatasaray. It's been said that a couple of talks has been made in the last couple of hours, and yes, Galatasaray are now back with a better deal because Napoli did reject the first offer they made for the player, and it's been said that the player also is giving the green light that, you know what, I don't want to stay right here in Napoli, I want to move ahead and definitely go back to Turkey, where it seems like he's finding life very easy for himself right there. Once again, I want to say congratulations to Chelsea. £100 million already in the bag, and they just made it to the finals of the FIFA Club World Cup. Amazing it is. amazing. Someone did mention that at least Chelsea have been able to recoup the money they spent on a couple of players that they've signed already this transfer window. I'll also talk about the ownership tussle that is currently happening right there at PSG. Lots of thoughts on the show this evening. Sports Up Show 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. You've got me, Ayodeji Ajiboye. It's an absolute honor to be your host on the show. It's going to be a solo ride, and I implore you to let's do this together this evening, where I get to serve you the latest stories coming through from the world of sports. Sports Up Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sport entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Still the Sports Show 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. This is such that I can keep track of these updates and more by following us across all social media platforms. We are currently streaming live on our YouTube channel at impact 102.1 FM. You can watch us live right there on YouTube this evening. Without further ado, let us get the show on the road. I will start with us coming through from other sports on the show this evening as they affect Nigerians and also Nigerian athletes who are currently playing their trade either abroad or on the homeland. We start with the world of basketball, where the Tigers star Mujana Musa will no longer don the colors of the WNBA outfit Phoenix Mercury after she was waived by the franchise's front desk yesterday in a bid to accommodate Diwana Bona. The 25-year-old who plays as a center only recently teamed up with the Arizona-based franchise from French League feminine outfit at Thabes Gesper Bigor earlier this year and was mostly a squad member as she was primarily used by the head coach Nat Tibet during most of the games. The multi-Afrobasket winner made her debut in the Mercury's 89-86 points victory against the Los Angeles Sparks on May 22nd and went on to play 12 games for Phoenix during the 2025 campaign. The rookie center averaged 3.3 points and 2.6 rebounds per game, shooting 45.7% from the field as well in the outgoing season of the WNBA. She missed a couple of matches. That's, I think, the last three fixtures for the team because she suffered an injury on her right ankle, and then she was being tipped to make a return during Monday's blowout victory against the Dallas Wings. However, she did not taste a single minute of action, with rumors making the rounds that Phoenix may have made up their mind in waiving the Nigerian. Report is also eventually turning out to be true because on the WNBA transaction page, it's now said that Musa has been waived. The move, of course, a result of Mercury needing to get someone off the roster to make room for the new player that is going to be coming in. The Mercury also reached the league maximum of 12 rostered players, but 6 are signed to unprotected contracts, meaning they can be waived without penalty before July 13. Still in the world of basketball on the show this evening, it's been said that former head coach of the Nigerian men's national team, the Tigers, Mike Brown, has now expressed his optimism following his appointment as coach of the NBA Eastern Conference franchise, New York Knicks. The 55-year-old American, who was relieved of his role in charge of the Sacramento Kings, was officially appointed to be the 32nd head coach of the Knicks franchise history, signing a 4-year deal reported to be worth around $40 million. He emerged as a favored pick after the Knicks conducted a wide-ranging search, interviewing several high-profile candidates, including Taylor Jenkins, Mika Nori, James Borrego, and they also opened negotiations with women's NCAA legend Dawn Staley. Speaking during his introductory press conference at the team's practice facility, Brown said, and I'm going to quote him, says, "Nobody has bigger expectations, first of all, than he does. His expectations are very high, and this is the Knicks. He's talked about the Madison Square Garden being iconic, so he's looking forward to be a part of that particular one." Away from that story, we also take stories coming through from the world of tennis, where Quadraro now will be facing world number 4 and tournament third seed Tomokazu Arimoto. in a blockbuster round of 32 clash at the United States Grand Smash in Las Vegas. Later today, he's going to continue his quest for a deep run in one of the sport's most prestigious events. The match against Arimoto will be the 7th meeting between the two players in the past 6 years, with Aruna currently recording 2 wins in their last 3 encounters, though the Japanese ace came out victorious in their most recent encounter, which was at the WTT Star Contender in Doha earlier this year, where he dispatched Aruna 3-0 in a straight games on January 11. Still the Sports Talk Show right here on iPad Radio 102.1 FM. I will still taking stories coming through from the home front on the show this evening. Away from other sports right about now, we'll go straight into the world of football. We start from the camp of the under-20 boys, which is going to be Wafubi, where the Ghana and Nigeria are now set for fierce showdown as the Wafubi is going to be kicking off one of West Africa's fiercest football rivalries. Will be taking center stage tomorrow because Ghana and Nigeria will be clashing in the opening match of the 2025 Wafu Zone B Under-20 Championship at the Gorman Soccer Center of Excellence, and what promises to be more of a trillion cutting razor. The defending champions Nigerians Flying Eagles will be facing host Ghana's Black Stars in Group A with just 3 teams, where it is comprising of Nigeria, Ghana, and Benin Republic in the group. Of course, it said that every point is going to matter in that particular one because the game can be so much decisive that it's even going to decide the race for the semi-finals. This is not just about renewing the rivalry, it's about making sure that a statement is being made between the two countries. Just another tournament opener, of course, high stake between the two Africa's most successful youth football nations. Recent history is favoring Nigeria because they have beaten Ghana in the last 3 under-20 encounters. We'll take it back from 2015, that was in the under-20 AFCON. It was 2-0 to Nigeria. In 2018, the under-20 Wafu under-20 Cup as well, and Nigeria 4-2. And then last year, 2024, that was the Wafu B final. It was 2-1 Nigeria. So definitely it's going to be one match to look forward to. Maybe this time around it's going to be a rivalry aside and revenge on the side of the Ghanaians. I will look forward to see how that particular match will pan out tomorrow. And the head coach Ali Zubair has also opted for a blend of experience and youth because there are a couple of key returnees from the team that has finished third at the 2023 under-20 AFCON who made the ranks as well. The list was released earlier last week, including the likes of Daniel Bameyi, Divine Olise, and also goalkeeper Ebenezer Accord from the guys that played at the under-23 under-20 AFCON, also making part of the Wafu B team. Leadership and tournament. The leadership and tournament know-how from these 3 guys is definitely going to be one to look forward to, and we're definitely hoping that the Flying Eagles will be flying the country's flag so high right there in Ghana as they play the Wafu B Under-20 Cup. Still talking about stories coming through from the on front. We'll talk about local teams right now, where the newly appointed chairman of the Shooting Star Sports Club of Ibadan, that's 3SC, Honorable Taiwo Leko Salami, is now assuring of a massive facelift for the Oluyole Warriors. The sports administrator, who is also a business mogul, gave his assurance yesterday during his first official meeting with the members of the management team and also staff at the club's Jericho office. Honorable Taiwo Leko Salami took time to hold discussion with members of the management team, as well as seeking the current situation of the team with a view to actualizing his own vision. He's been accompanied by a couple of other staffs who welcomed him, more like the members of the management team, including the general manager Dimeji Lawal. The director of finance was also part of those who welcomed him yesterday. And away from that story right now, let's go straight into one story that has been making the rounds on the home front since yesterday, and that is talking about Ahmed Musa, who a lot of your fans, it's been purported that he did that, but now he's come out to also deny that particular story. Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa is denying the widespread social media claims that he distributed luxury vehicles to players and officials of Kano Pillars following his appointment as the club's general manager. In a statement that was posted on his official X handle yesterday, the Super Eagles captain dismissed viral reports describing them as false and also misleading. The rumor, which had circulated earlier in the day, alleged that Musa gifted brand new Land Cruisers to all members of the team and the coaching staff as a gesture to mark his return to Pillars in an executive capacity. While reacting to development, Musa said the story was completely fabricated and urged the public and also the media to be more discerning about the information that they are going to be sharing online. So it's been said that even the vehicles that are in question right here had nothing to do with Kano State at all. Yes, because at the end of the day, a bit of fact checking was done on the said vehicles, and it was said that those images of the Land Cruiser Jeeps were originally shared online in March. That was early. That was in 2024. That was in March 2024 as part of Governor Nasiru Idris, who is of Kebbi State, who had donated 24 Toyota Jeeps to members of the State House of Assembly. So the vehicles were originally for the members of the State of House of Assembly right there in Kebbi State. So it has nothing to do with Kano State a bit. But then the misinformation is definitely spread. It spread like wildfire because going through the social media yesterday, you see different mediums picking the story, making sure that they're also looking to, should I call it, attract traffic or maybe some form of clickbait. That was yesterday. But Musa is definitely unfazed as he's joining the players in training. That was yesterday and also today. Reaffirming his role as both an active player and also taking the role of the club administrator right there for the same Mesugida boys. The same Mesugida boys will be looking to definitely do better than what they were able to achieve for themselves in the Nigerian Premier Football League that will be starting come next month. And away from that, right now, we'll go straight into the world of the Super Falcons of Nigeria, who are currently flying the country's flag so high right there at the ongoing Women African Cup of Nations 2024 happening right there in Morocco. And their next game is going to be against Botswana because they've been able to win 3-0 in their first game against the Tunisian ladies. The Botswana side also will be looking to get a boost by the return of some of their key players. Don't forget, Botswana also lost by a narrow 1-0 defeat in the end of Algeria. So most definitely they will be looking to get a clap back against the Super Falcons this time around. Two of the players were absent in their opening match against Algeria due to being suspended by the Confederation of African Football, and the highly anticipated encounter is going to be for tomorrow right there at the Labi Zaoli Stadium in Casablanca. We're kicking off at about 8 p.m. Nigerian time. I want to look forward to, because why not, if the Super Falcons are once again able to cross this particular ordeal, then definitely we can be talking about moving into the next round of the tournament easy peasy. The Botswana head coach Alex Malete is remaining optimistic about his team's chances of securing a positive result against the Super Falcons in the game for tomorrow, because the Males have now begun their campaign. I mentioned to you that they lost 1-0 to Algeria, and of course Super Falcons did cruise to a convincing 3-0 win over Tunisia on the same day. Facing the 9-time African champions, Malete is believing that Botswana has what it takes to spring a surprise. Of course, they can spring a surprise, but maybe not this time around, because the Super Falcons, you can talk about them, are so much poised to make sure that they get something out of this tournament this time around. The Mission X is very much on right now, and every Nigerian, all hands in glove, all hands on deck to make sure that they bring back this one and they bring the trophy for the 10th time, setting that record that it looks like no one is going to be breaking anytime soon. Repeat of the performance against Botswana is what the girls will be looking to do, because I remember that they met in the year 2022. That was like 3 years ago in the 12th edition of the competition that was played in the same country right there in Morocco, and this time around we'll also be looking to see how best the girls will be able to get one over there, because I mean we've done it before, so definitely we can still do it once again. And the last time we were only able to defeat them 2-0, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was Ifeoma Onomono and also Christy Uchebe who played in that particular game. And that was in 2022. Yes, the game is just coming to my head right about now, but definitely we look forward to see how tomorrow's game is going to pan out. When you talk about African football, you definitely want to give credence to the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Anyway, from the Super Falcons talk right now, it's also been said that a Nigerian is going to be officiating in the game that will be played later today, and that's the game between Senegal and Zambia. She's going to be serving as a fourth official, by the way, by the name Eunice Akintoye Yemisi. The Nigerian referee has been appointed as the fourth official for the upcoming Group B clash, which is going to be between Senegal and Zambia. The second round of matches kicked off earlier today. She's going to be the fourth official, and her appointment is definitely a laudable one, because it's highlighting the continued recognition of Nigerian officials on the continental stage. Our sport talk show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. There's a bit of transfer talks for Nigerian players, some of them who are looking to go test the waters outside of the shores of the country, and some of them who are also looking to get contract extension right in the team that they play for right now. Some of the names that are currently flying around is the fact that former Sunshine Stars attacking military sensation Alex of Abdulaziz Jagbe has now joined Benin Republic side. Jagbe played for relegated Sunshine Stars in the MTFL last season and has now signed a 2-year deal with Benin side Asvo FC. If you take a look at Asvo FC very well, they are a team that have been managed by a Nigerian coach. Yes, there is a team that's been managed by I'm not trying to remember the name now. The name is failing me right now, but I could remember the summer of last season as well. There was this influx of Nigerian players into the team. Okay. The name that is coming to my head, I'm so sure it's not the person, but yes, it's a former. I think he did quit his job with the Nigerian side before he took on the job of the Benin Republic side, Asvo FC. I'm trying to get the name correctly right now. Yep. Fathai Osho, correct. I did remember that he joined the team in 2024. So since then, he's been attracting a couple of Nigerian players to join the side. It's also been said that Fathai Dagbo is also going to be joining that side from next season right there in the Beninaz League. Away from that story right now, we go straight out of the home front this evening, because there's so much to talk about, so much to look into on the Sports Talk Show 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. And just so you know, we're going straight to Europe. We start with the talks coming through from the world of tennis. Big stories, a couple of upsets being shown right there at the Wimbledon, which is the third Grand Slam of the year. Earlier today, two-time defending champion Carlos Alcaraz also produced the Wimbledon Masterclass, where he was able to end the hope of British Cameron Norrie and move into the semi-finals once again. Second seed Alcaraz underlined why he's tournament favorite with a scintillating 6-2, 6-3, 6-3 win. The Spaniard will now be facing Taylor Fritz, the American, who is fifth seed, bidding for a first major title in the last four. Fritz also secured in place in the Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time with a 6-3, 6-4, 6-7, 7-6 victory over Russian's Karen Khachanov. Alcaraz is seated behind Italian rival Yannick Sinner because of their respective world rankings, but his superior record on grass court and current odds streak makes him the man to beat. Victor over Norrie marked the 23rd win in a row for Alcaraz, who is now bidding to become the fifth man to win 3 successive Wimbledon titles in the Open era. Other games that have also been played is likes of Yannick Sinner, who also defeated Ben Shelton to also move into the semi-finals. 7-6, 6-4, 6-4 was the final scoreline between Yannick Sinner and Ben Shelton earlier today. Currently underway is the game between Novak Djokovic and also Flavio Cobolli. 4 sets, second set. Third set is currently underway right now. 7-6, 2-6, 3-3 is what is happening right there in the game. And we said that Flavio Cobolli is now going for a slide forehand shot from deep behind the baseline. Novak is selling the old with definitely an ace in that particular one. Having a bit of treatment to his tie, but okay, it's been said that you get to understand that once a tennis player is injured, it looks like they have more strength to themselves at that particular point in time. But of course, we look forward to seeing how this particular one is going to end. Each player holding on to a set apiece, and then definitely they are into the third set, currently at 3-3. Away from that, we go straight into the WTA, where Iga Swiatek has now also moved into the last four for the first time with a 6-2, 7-5 win over Lyudmila Samsonova right there at the Wimbledon. Swiatek will now be playing against Belinda Bencic in her next game, because Belinda Bencic was able to get one over Mira Andreeva. I ended the game at 7-6, 7-6. Also in the game that was played earlier today. More of tennis stories I'll be coming through before I wrap up the show this evening. I see the Sports Hub Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Away from tennis talks right now, we'll go straight into the world of Formula One, where it's been said that Red Bull have now sacked their principal, Christian Horner, after 20 years, relieving him of that particular role. The 51-year-old has been in charge of the Formula One team since their inception in 2005, leading them to 8 straight Drivers' Championship and 6 Constructors' Championship titles. And the dismissal is following months of declining form for the team and internal disputes at the highest level. It comes 17 months after Horner was accused of sexual harassment and coercive, controlling behavior by a female employee. Horner was twice cleared of the claims, firstly after an internal investigation conducted by a lawyer and then by another lawyer who dismissed the complainant's appeal. While Horner has been removed from his role, it has not been made clear if he has formally departed the company or if a settlement or severance is in place for him. Reigning world champion Max Verstappen thanked Horner right on social media. It was even Max Verstappen's post that brought a lot of attention to the fact that Christian Horner has officially been relieved of his duty right there. The Englishman Christian Horner is said to be replaced as team principal and chief executive of Red Bull by the racing by Laurent Mekies, who has been promoted from the second team Racing Bulls. The 48-year-old Frenchman has been in the role since start of 2024 season and was previously racing director for Ferrari. Englishman Alan Perman, who is also 58, has been promoted to the team principal of Racing Bulls from his position as the racing director. Under Christian Horner, a couple of amazing laurels, amazing Grand Prix have been won by the Red Bull. I want to make mention of the likes of Sebastian Vettel, who won the Drivers' Championship from 2010 to 2013, and Verstappen has also done the same thing, winning the past 4 titles. He's done the 4-peat already, one team that no other driver in the Formula One history has ever done right there. Away from that talk now, I will go straight into the world of basketball on the show this evening. Still the Sports Hub Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget I can be a part of the show. 0907-224-5018. Call me up. Let's get to talk. Okay, maybe when we get to the side of football, I like to have your 2 cents, especially talking about the game that will be going down later tonight between Paris Saint-Germain and also Real Madrid. What do you think are the chances of a team like Chelsea moving forward at the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup? Of course, we can tell already that no one did give them a chance to be where they are right now. Against all odds, they've been able to convince a lot of football fans that, look here, we know what we're doing. Enzo Maresca seems to be a man who is definitely top of his job, and he seems to be doing it very, very well right there at the Stamford Bridge. Yes, let's go straight into the world of basketball, because definitely there are some amazing stories that have been lined up in the world of basketball this evening for your listening pleasure. One of the biggest stars in the NBA, Kevin Durant, is now going to be moving to the Houston Rockets in a huge trade deal involving 7 teams, the most in the league history. The trade was announced on Sunday by the Phoenix Suns, who are sending Durant, a 15-time All-Star, to the Rockets. The deal is going to include 6 players and 13 draft picks, guys. The team involved in the massive trade are the Phoenix Suns, Houston Rockets, Atlanta Hawks, Brooklyn Nets, Los Angeles Lakers, Golden State Warriors, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And also part of the deal is that Houston will be getting Durant and center Clint Capella. Players like Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, Duncan Plodin, Kamal Maluch are heading to Phoenix, along with the rights to the 10th pick in this year's draft, which is Rashard Fleming, Kobe Bray, and a future second-round pick. Like, this is this is more like holding someone at ransom for a player. Doka, who is the Rockets head coach, praised Durant, calling him a player who fits perfectly with the team's plan. Durant also spoke about the move last month at Fanatics Fest, where he was told about the trade while on stage right there. We look forward to seeing how it's going to pan out between the two sides. Don't forget that Durant, who won his 4th Olympic gold medal at the 2024 Paris Games, played 62 games last season and averaged 26.6 points, 6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists per game. And the Houston Rockets had a strong season as well. They finished second in the Western Conference with a record of 52-30, but lost in the first round of the playoffs to the Golden State Warriors in 7 games. Durant will now return to Texas, where he played college basketball for the University of Texas before he entered into the NBA. Away from that into the Denver Nuggets right now, their superstar Nikola Jokic will not seek a contract extension this summer. It's been said that he's delaying talks until next summer. Jokic has 3 years remaining on a 5-year, $276 million contract extension that he signed in the summer of 2022. And the 3-time MVP player has a player option in the final year of the deal, which is going to be worth about $62.8 million in 2027-2028. Jokic is set to be eligible to sign a 3-year, $200 million extension up until October 20, according to reports coming through from that angle. The first year of the extension would have replaced his player option, and by waiting until next year, 2026 offseason, to work on an extension, the Nuggets star is able to add a 4th year at an additional $77 million. According to news reports, Josh Kroenke, the Nuggets president, said the team will offer its franchise star an extension this summer, but also understood how it could benefit Jokic to sign one next summer as well. And away from that, right, away from basketball talks right now, we'll go straight into the world of football. And I tell you what, tantalizing stories I've got lined up for you. A summer sweep already, players looking to change sides, player moving left, right, and center. But definitely we'll start with us coming through from the FIFA Club World Cup, where Chelsea last night were able to have one against Fluminense. People are already saying that this is a standout performance, and maybe Chelsea should just have their defense line to thank for that game yesterday, because definitely the Fluminense side definitely threw a lot of asked a lot of questions from the Chelsea team yesterday, but you know what? It did happen in favor of the Blues. Let's go straight into that particular story right now. And now Chelsea are now making sure that yes, they are getting or raking up a couple of milli in the bag for the Blues. not too good news coming through from the game last night is that their midfielder Moises Caicedo has hurt his left ankle during the second half injury time in yesterday's 2-0 win over Fluminense in the semi-finals of the Club World Cup. Chelsea the midfielder Caicedo will receive treatment, return to the game, and then hobbled off as Chelsea finished with a man shot yesterday. Moises twisted his ankle, that's according to the manager Enzo Maresca. It's also saying that because there were just 2 to 3 minutes to go, he mentioned to the player that he could play with 10 players. The important thing was that the injury is not going to get worse. The final is going to be on Sunday, and like I mentioned, we'll be waiting to see who is going to make it through into the final between Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain from the game that will be played later tonight, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. We look forward to that amazing draw between the two sides. Definitely 2 high-flying sides in the world of football right about now. Before we go into transfer bits, there are still a couple more stories to share with you on the show. Yesterday, Bayern Munich midfielder Jamal Musiala said no one was to blame for the horrific leg break that he suffered in their Club World Cup quarterfinals against Paris Saint-Germain, adding that the situation like that does happen every time as a footballer. The 22-year-old sustained a fibular fracture with a broken and dislocated ankle following the collision with Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma at the end of the first half. The German international, who was taken off on a stretcher, flew back from Atlanta to Munich where he had the surgery and is expected to be sidelined for a few months. Definitely will be missing the start of the new season. Their goalkeeper Manuel Neuer criticized his Paris Saint-Germain counterpart Donnarumma, saying that in going for the challenge, he's willing to accept the risk of injuring his opponent. People are definitely, a lot of guys are criticizing Donnarumma. Another person, I think I was having a conversation with someone off there, and he says there was a big danger that something can happen with the way Donnarumma definitely jumped in to secure the ball, and that action was not something that is not going to bring about risk to the opposite player. So, but the player himself is saying there's no one to blame, that it can happen because this is football. Absolutely anything can happen. Away from that story right now, we go straight into the camp of Liverpool. The team were now back in camp, but definitely not the type of welcome back they would have ever imagined in a long time, because yes, the Liverpool guys are now back in camp, but definitely without Diogo Jota. Not a good one right there. In case you missed it, Diogo Jota died early this month alongside his brother Andre, and it was an emotional return to training for Liverpool after the death of their forward. Liverpool's player returned to training yesterday, definitely grieving the sudden loss of forward who died in a car accident last week. The Premier League champions delayed the start of pre-season preparations following the death of the 28-year-old in a car crash in northern Spain last Thursday. According to the manager, Arne Slot, along with several members of the squad, attended the Jota's funeral in Gandama, which is his hometown, which was near Porto. Alex Mohamed Salah and the Robertson, Conor Bradley, Waterrendo were among those that were seen arriving at Liverpool's training center for the first team session back yesterday. Salah also shared a heartfelt tribute on social media, admitting he was afraid to return to Liverpool because of the pain of facing the reality of the absence of the attacker right there. And away from that story, let's quickly go straight into transfer beat, just as they have it on the back pages of the major dailies for this evening. Top story commentaries at Tottenham Hotspur have now agreed a deal that is worth £55 million for West Ham's Mohamed Kudus. Tottenham Hotspur have agreed a fee of about $74.7 million to sign the West Ham midfielder. Thus is confirming that the Ghana international has agreed a 6-year contract with the medical set to take place in the next 48 hours. The West Ham had earlier rejected a £50 million offer from Spurs, and Kudus also, who is 24, has an £85 million release clause in his contract that can only be activated by other Premier League clubs, but West Ham are willing to letting him go at a lower fee. Kudus had previously been on Chelsea's radar. He joined West Ham in 2023 from Ajax and emerged as a leading target for new Spurs coach Thomas Frank this summer. Played 80 games for West Ham last season, scored 19 goals and contributed 18 assists. One definitely that did not go down well with a lot of other fans, because especially his goal celebration is one that you definitely want to think about, like, bruv, what are you doing? he's making fun of us and the way he sits on the corner side after every goal that he scores. Away from that story right now, Sporting CP forward Victor Gyökeres has said his style of play under his former coach Ruben Amorim suited him perfectly. Gyökeres, who is one of Arsenal's top targets this transfer window, thrived under Amorim's system at Sporting. The Portuguese coach left Sporting in November to join Manchester United, and the words of the player says the style of play we had under Amorim suited me perfectly. But it's not looking like a reunion that is going to happen anytime soon, because bulk of the news making the rounds is that Arsenal are already putting their two legs into the water to make sure that they sign the player. The former Coventry City striker also finished as Liga Portugal's top scorer with 39 goals, as Sporting defended the league title last season. Gyökeres is 27 and is expected to leave this summer with Premier League is of obvious destination, and like I mentioned, it's been said that Arsenal are the front runners who are looking to sign the player before the end of this summer transfer window. Still more beats are coming through from the world of football this evening. Transfer beats, just as we have on the back page of major dailies, it's been said that Everton has also completed the signing of Thierry Barry from Villarreal for £27 million. The France under-21 striker has signed a 4-year contract with the Toffees until the end of the June 2029. Barry had a £34.5 million release clause in his Villarreal contract, but Everton negotiated a lower fee for the 22-year-old, who scored 11 goals and provided 4 assists in 38 games last season, as the Spanish club finished 5th in La Liga to qualify for the championship. Away from that, it's been said that Turkish Super League side Samsunspor have also taken concrete steps in the pursuit of Nigerian striker Umar Sadiq, as the club looks to bolster their attack ahead of the next 2024-2025 season. Samsunspor have officially opened talks with Real Sociedad over the transfer of the 28-year-old forward, according to multiple reports emanating from Turkey, including Samson Abba. The decision to go after Sadiq after the club's technical team recommended the player, and the club president Yüksel Yilmaz reportedly approved the move. Chedno Super League outlets are also saying that with the suggestion of the technical committee, the name of the 28-year-old striker Umar Sadiq, who plays for Spanish La Liga club Real Sociedad, came onto the agenda. It's left to see where the player is definitely going to be playing his straight, because of course it was a topsy-turvy last season for Umar Sadiq. Don't forget that since he joined Real Sociedad from Almeria in 2022, his progress has been mixed due to setbacks. He remains a valuable asset. Don't forget that he's played for teams like Partizan Belgrade. He also played for AS Roma earlier in his career. At the point in time last season, he was right there with Valencia, but yes, that one also did not pan out well before I made the move back home to Real Sociedad. And away from that story right now, it's been said that Bournemouth have also made a move to sign Chelsea goalkeeper George Petrovic. With the offer hasn't been accepted just yet. Negotiations are remaining positive with the 25-year-old who is keen to leave Stamford Bridge to become a first-team starter. The Cherries have been tracking Petrovic's situation for more than a year and are looking to sign a replacement for Kepa Arrizabalaga, who spent last season with the team on loan from Chelsea, but now joined Arsenal permanently at the start of this year. As of this month, when his £5 million release clause was being triggered, Bournemouth has been made aware of an image rights issue that needs resolving to sign Serbian international Petrovic, who is valued at about £25 million and has agreed an initial 7-year contract with the Blues from New England Revolution in 2023. It's the Sports Up Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. And before I wrap up the show this evening, quickly, let me take you through some more stories coming through from the world of transfer bids. Like I mentioned, there's been said that Mohamed Kudus, the deal has been agreed between Tottenham Hotspur and also West Ham United. And away from that, there's also stories coming through that a couple of players are already agreeing. Arsenal are said to have submitted the initial bid for Noni Madueke, which is going to be around £50 million, and also including a bit of add-ons in that particular deal as well. It's also been said that Simon Adingra is also going to be moving to Sunderland. The Brighton have agreed a £21 million fixed fee plus £3 million add-ons, and personal terms are said to have been agreed, with medical set to follow next. I know that Simon Adingra, the Cote d'Ivoire player who currently plays for Brighton and Hove Albion, will be moving to Sunderland. Sunderland seem to mean a lot of business since they gained promotion to the English Premier League. This is going to be their third signing of the summer, making his move into the English Premier League. Right there, it was also been announced that they signed a Mozambican player earlier yesterday. We look forward to see how interesting and entertaining it's going to be for Sunderland to be back. Of course, it's going to be a big derby right there between Sunderland and also the likes of Everton in the English Premier League. Sports Talk Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and that's how much I'll be taking on the show for this evening. Major thanks and major props to everyone who's been a part of the show. Sports Talk Show is going to return on Friday, 5 p.m.